I remember my head teacher pulled me into his office and was like, "Why are you changing from psychology to food? Do you want to be a chef?" And he kind of looked at me like, "Why are you wasting your education on doing that?" That annoyed me, and I think that gave me a bit of fire to be like, "Right, you can make something of this."
Darcy Laceby, co-founder of Absolute Collagen. At the age of 20, Darcy made a decision most graduates wouldn't dare take. Instead of taking the traditional career path, she threw herself into building a startup alongside her mum.
I'm always like, if you need me to step back or change or leave, whatever it is, I'll do it. I was just like, well, these people must know everything. Like, they were bringing in MDs of really big companies, really cool people. And I was just like, said yes to everything because I thought they must know. But what I've realized is I know the customer better than anyone else.
What's the hardest part about working with your mum?
We're not very good at identifying when, like, I just want her to be a mum versus a co-founder or business partner or whatever. So I'll sometimes, rant or moan, and she'll do the same at me, and she goes into like fix mode.
Welcome to Screw It, Just Do It, the show for those who decided to screw it and just did it. I'm Alex Chisnall, host of this podcast and co-founder of the Festival of Entrepreneurs at the NEC in Birmingham this October 8th and 9th. This is the podcast that brings you face-to-face with the entrepreneurs and business rebels who threw caution to the wind and built something extraordinary. Quick heads up, registration is now open for this year's Festival of Entrepreneurs. Join us at the NEC in Birmingham on October the 8th and 9th for 2 game-changing days with 200 plus speakers and thousands of ambitious founders. Get your free limited 2-day pass at festivalofentrepreneurs.co.uk or click my personal link in the show notes.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Alex. I didn't realise I would be the youngest, so thank you.
I love things that happen like that. Amazing. Well, look, thanks for your time. Lots of questions to ask you. First one is, when you were finishing uni and when Absolute Collagen began, was there an exact screw it, just do it moment you thought, I'm going to go all in on this instead of going down the graduate career path?
No, so I went to uni in year 1, year 2, didn't really come home for the whole of year 1. And then in year 2, Maxine's my mum. I do call her Maxine, it freaks people out. Started looking at bone broth. And so in year 2, I kind of came home a little bit. And the end of year 2, I was doing a little bit more on it, but not massively. And then my year 3 contract came around and I was like, oh, I think I should just move home. Like, I can help out a bit more. And so me and Maxine were just like kind of independently doing bits to the business, but there was never like a moment. And in the background, I was still applying for jobs, like applying for grad programs and, failing at the numerical and verbal reasoning tests every time. So no, not really.
And what were you looking at, like career-wise, if you were applying for different graduate jobs, etc.? What was the path that you were going to go down?
Yeah, so about 3 months before I was due to start uni, I'd used all my options to do psychology, and then realised I don't want to do psychology. I want to do something I actually enjoy, and that's food science, nutrition. So I changed, actually went through clearing and did consumer management and food science. And I wanted to go into procurement of food, which is so random. And so not me. I'm quite creative. But yeah, my whole degree was focused around product and innovation and food science. But yeah, it would have probably been quite like logistics. And I'm quite like, I'd message people on LinkedIn that has like similar jobs and I'd go like speak to them and stuff. I'm not a nerd, it's not clever, but I'm quite nerdy in terms of I like to find things out.
No, I get that. I always run things past like an inner circle or search out people who've kind of been there, done it as well. I think that's a sound way of doing things. What were your friends thinking when you kind of backed away from the idea of going down that route then and decided to go all in on the business with your mum, Maxine?
Yeah, well, when I was at sixth form, actually, when I'd swapped, I went to grammar school. And yeah, I was always more focused on sport and arts and things like that. And I remember my head teacher pulled me into his office and was like, "Why are you changing from psychology to food? Do you want to be a chef?" And he kind of looked at me like, "Why are you wasting your education on doing that?" And that annoyed me. And I think that gave me a bit of fire to be like, right, you can make something of this. And I always wanted a business. That was always what I'd like, always on the sidelines. When I was in sixth form, I'd like do little bits and bobs and things and sell stuff. But I think people are a bit concerned when I changed to food, to be honest. My mum and dad had always been pretty supportive of whatever I wanted to do. Like, I'm really lucky there. But yeah, I don't really think anyone had an opinion. All my friends were going to do like psychology or like law and things like that, which yeah, just didn't really suit my personality, I don't think. But it's interesting. My uni degree, like in my second year onwards, is all my coursework's all on collagen and gelatin and brain broth, and yeah, it was really instrumental. I remember we had trading standards come around to, I say the office and warehouse, it was our house and garage. And they were like, "Do you have a HACCP program? Do you have this?" And I was like, "Yes, here's what I made at uni." Like everything was so aligned, and I probably use it way more than anyone else does that I know in terms of my degree and the kind of skills that I learned there. So I'm happy. Well, more than happy I made the switch.
I bet you are. And so, when you were a teenager then, and you had thoughts of maybe starting your own business, was that just before your mum started Absolute Collagen?
Yeah, so I've always been pretty independent. My dad had a company from when I was little, and he sold that when he was about 50. That's like a glass, like he's toughen glass basically. It's funny. My sister had a baby in February, and I always say I always wanted a business, and she wanted a baby, and we got what we wanted. So like when I was 14, I'd like started. Well, I started like a little catering company. I did like wakes and things, and, and things like that, and like I don't know why I led with wakes, but do birthday parties too. Like sold like phone cases, like stuff off eBay and things like that. Like I've always just been interested in doing things like that, and like I'd write business plans and weird things. And it's funny, I speak to people from school, and they were like, "What?" Like no one ever knew about any of that. Um, yeah, like I keep it to myself really. And then when I was 17, I wrote a cookbook and self-published that, and used to go to like events and sell it and things. But yeah, I've always liked to be busy.
That conversation just proves something. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So here's my challenge. Upgrade your network. The Festival of Entrepreneurs is happening October the 8th and 9th, and I'm giving my listeners free 2-day passes to get in the room with 5 to 10,000 entrepreneurs who are actually building something. This is where the risk takers, the game changers, and the people who've decided to screw it and just do it come for inspiration, education, and connection. Don't just listen to their success stories, go meet the people living them. Grab your free pass now, because the biggest risk isn't taking a chance, it's missing the opportunity entirely. If this conversation resonated with you, don't just sit there, act on it. Make sure you follow or subscribe for more game-changing conversations, and remember, the only thing standing between you and your business breakthrough is the decision to screw it and just do it.